To see my old friend here, David Higgins, I'm going to cut out one of his lines, which he told me earlier. He said, I like him because I make him, well, he makes me look like less of a twat, apparently.
When I act like a twat, it takes the heat off him.
Exactly, but it is a pleasure to have you back here. We always do great business together. We love this fight, we made it in 48 hours, and a massive fight for the career of David Higgins, and particularly of Joseph Parker himself.
Hey, first of all, I'm trying to be more observant and present, and I've been looking around, and I find it quite fascinating that if we draw a line on the table here, all the bottles this way are made of plastic, and that way they're largely made of glass. Now, I'm thinking this conspiracy, and I don't regard Dillian Whyte as a mentally stable individual. So, you know, I'm not concerned that there's a plastic this side, glass that side. But look, on a more serious look, he's playing with his glass bottle. Anyway, on a serious note, I think I'm actually going to predict that this will be fight of the year, and some people might ask why, and you know, there's a few simple reasons. People, they ask what is pay-per-view worthy. For me, a pay-per-view worthy fight has to hit the trifecta. The three things are: one, it's got to be evenly matched, and I think everyone would agree this fight's fairly evenly matched. It could potentially go either way. Two, it can't be boring, it's got to be entertaining, and I think everyone would agree that the styles make fights, and Dillian's got a style that comes forward and swarms. He looks for the knockout, takes risks, that creates opportunities. Parker, one of his regrets in analysing the Joshua performance was perhaps not putting quite as much pressure on and throwing the kitchen sink. This time he said he's going to show a lot more intent. This means it's going to be an explosion. I'd say there could be a few knockdowns. I think it would be fight of the year. And the third one is there has to be a lot at stake. These two guys' careers are on the line largely. There's everything at stake. I think John Taylor will mess around, and Joshua beats Beckham. The winner of this fight is a sitter or rematch against Joshua, and so it's, you know, it's competitive, a lot at stake, and also look, as I think the other. Then looking at the fight itself, I think Parker has a bit more on his plate than Dillian Whyte. Dillian's only got to fight Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker has to fight Dillian and the officials. Now, why do I say that? Twice we went to the UK. First time there's a controversy. Referee changed at the last minute. Second time, even Eddie Hearn said that the referee, Joshua Whyte, was a disgrace. And so Joseph's got to fight Dillian and the officials, but guess what? I think he's going to do it, and I think he's going to finish Dillian by knockout in the round 7.
You said last time that you believed that he'd win against Anthony Joshua. What's the difference this time? How do you rate Dillian Whyte? You took this fight very, very quickly, so obviously you see something where you feel like you're the big favourite going into this fight. I
don't think Dillian's anywhere near as good as Anthony Joshua for a start. And I think his style of coming, he's got an entertaining style, but that will leave openings where, and if Joseph, I think Joseph's, if he fights disciplined and fights clever, has too much class for Dillian, and when that opening comes, hopefully we get stoppage.
Thank you, David. We're going to move on to the training teams now. Kevin, welcome back. It was a pleasure to have you over for the last fight, and I know you've worked again diligently with Joseph in the lead up to this camp. Sense excitement from you and Joseph in this fight, and I think you know what kind of fight it's going to be, and I think you're ready for that kind of fight on Saturday night.
Well, thanks, Eddie, and it's great to be here, and it's great the way we're treated by the British people. We've got a lot of fans here in the UK now, and it makes us really feel at home when we get here. In fact, I'll just tell a little story. We were approached the other day by a gentleman by the name of Josh Steffen, who owns Fly Gloves. He rang me up and he says, I'm a huge fan of Joseph Parker's, I'd like to meet with you. I know you guys fight in black Rayas every time you fight. And I said, yeah, we've had 25 fights and we've fought in Rayas every time. He said, let me make a glove for you. And I thought, you know, are you for real? This is a British company, a British guy. And so we had a meeting with them, and we're now wearing flies for the first time on Saturday night. So
well, they're getting sacked because Dillian wears flies as well.
Yeah, but
that's their lot. Yeah. You wear fly, that's your lot. You're right.
Exactly. There you go, Josh. Back to Grants and Rival, my friend.
We've had a short but very productive camp. we sort of felt like it was a bit of a setup, even when we accepted the fight, that Eddie wanted Joe to fly all the way over here from New Zealand, 24 hours, stay in London one day, and then fly 10 hours to Vegas. So the first week in training camp, I had a zombie walking around who was seriously jet lagged, which cut our training camp down to 6 weeks. The 4 weeks after that we put together in Vegas would be the best block of training in the last 5.5 years that Joe and I have put together. Joe knows the significance of this fight. He knows what we're up against. We're up against a very dangerous, very powerful, very hungry Dillian Whyte. We have a lot of respect for Dillian Whyte and his team. So forget about what David Higgins said, there'll be no trash talking from me. I know the guy has hunger, I know he wants to get to the top, and he's got to come through Joseph Parker. So there's a lot of risk in this fight. But we've sparred 102 rounds in 4 weeks. We've never ever done that. We arrived here in London with a lot of confidence. You can see my fighter beside me. He looks in great shape. There is something burning in Joseph Parker's belly at the moment, and he cannot wait to get into the ring with Dillian Whyte on Saturday night.
Kevin, just quickly, I know you won't give me that prediction, but do you see this fight going 12 rounds?
Look, I tell you what, I think this is a real boxing fan's fight, as is, Derek and Carlos. As hard as I look at this fight, the style that Dillian Whyte has, he would love nothing more than to fight Joseph Parker in a phone booth. He's going to be in our face, and if he continues to be in our face, it's going to be a very, very hard fight for us to win. But look, I think this fight ends by knockout. I don't see it going 12 rounds. The styles of both guys are going to make for a very explosive fight. There's going to be a lot of punches, and both guys are going to get hit a lot in the early rounds.
Thanks, Kevin. Always a pleasure to have you here. Mark, been in some big fights with Dillian through your relationship with him. Doesn't get much bigger than this, and looking forward to Saturday night.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely going to be a rough, tough night for Joseph Parker indeed, for sure. Let's not forget Dillian's, we respect Joseph's pedigree, and we know what he's done and where he's come from. But Dillian Whyte is going to take Joseph Parker to a level he's never felt before. Depths he's never felt before. We're going to rough him and tough him. Persistently and consistently articulate, a bit cleverly, on point. Then we might put a bit of boxing in there, get behind the jab, but we're going to box fight our way to a victory, and it's going to be a brutal victory.
Same question to you that I asked Kevin. Do you think this fight goes the distance? People talk about Joseph Parker's speed and the ability that Dillian has to get in there, like you say, to have a rough and tough fight. Does Dillian have to do that early in the fight?
Well, Dillian's listen, to boxing people, we know what this style's got to do to that style. And I'll be honest with you, Joseph Parker's team, I felt in his last fight, he made all the promises, what he was going to do, what he weren't going to do. He pulled the wool over the fight fans of this country, and he never delivered. He never delivered. I felt that down myself. And he does. If he's looking for redemption, then let's hope he comes and brings it. But if he doesn't come and brings it, we'll walk him down and stalk him down and break him down, persistently and consistently. We have to. We've got to eat. We've got to eat, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Joseph, you look great. I think you look better than you did leading up to the Joshua fight. Slightly stronger you looked last night, just messing around in the ring there. And something in your eye says, you want this, you're ready to go.
Well, firstly, it's great to be back again. Great to see you, and it's great to see all the fighters fit, healthy and ready for fight night. Like my coach said, we're very thankful to the public and for the people for welcoming us and treating us nicely while we're here. Training camp has been great. Like Kevin mentioned, it was a short camp, but it was probably the best camp that we've had in the 5 to 6 years we've been together. So I'm in great shape, there's no excuses here. Before I used to come into fights and think, or I used to say, hopefully have a good fight, catch him clean, hopefully get a knockout. There's no hopefully here. Now I'm here to do damage. I'm here to punch with bad intentions. I'm going to break him down. I don't want to catch him flush. He's going to take a lot of punches. Something my opponent's been talking a lot of smack. And I think sometimes smack talk is a sign of doubt. And also it's a sign of trying to convince himself and convince others that he's ready for this big challenge. I hope he's ready to take a lot of punches because I'm going to give it real bad.
Do you feel that as champion there was always that element of pressure on you? You know, you come out to New Zealand, you had the belt to defend all the time. Now you seem to really have the challenger's mentality going into this fight.
I feel like I got the challenger's mentality, but the hunger, the motivation and drive, it's firing. And I'm just looking forward to putting it all on display on Saturday night.
You're ready for a war on Saturday?
Oh, bring it on.
You want to mix it up, not move? I know you're going to move.
He thinks I can't go to war. Wait and see.
So it's not about speed and movement for Joseph Parker solely on Saturday?
Less movement, more punches.
Dillian? Less movement, more punches? Is that going to play into your style on Saturday night?
Listen, this is boxing. People come and say they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do something else. I'm experienced now. I've been in the game for long enough to know that, talk and actions is two different things. So let's see what he comes with, let's see. Whatever he comes with, I'll be ready for it. I've trained with a lot of lighter guys, fast guys, strong guys, so wherever he wants it, I'll be there. If he wants it long, rangy, if he wants it short, then, it is what it is, man. I'm good.
Something that Mark said really touched down. You have to win on Saturday, don't you? You
Yeah,
both have to win. Because if you don't win, it's over at the world level.
Every single one of my fights and match wins has been like that anyway. Every
I'm going
fight
to keep
match
saying
has
because you haven't lost yet while you've been with us.
Yeah, because, listen, I'm here to win.
You have to, don't you? You want world titles. The losers got nowhere to go in terms of world championship fights after this fight on Saturday.
Yeah, listen, I come here to win. I've trained hard. I give it my all. I look back how I came and think, could I do anything better, anything more? And the answer is no. I'm ready to rock, man. I'm ready to rock. Whatever they want, like Agent Berners, I'm the can man. If they want it, they can have it.
Finally, Joseph, predictions for Saturday night?
I win, dominant performance, execute the plan, get the knockout.
Dillian, do you see this going the distance? Can you stop Joseph Parker on Saturday?
It depends where he comes. If he comes to fight, like he said, he gets knocked out. But if he comes to run, then and I got to eat my way out to a points decision. And so, you know me, I always try to bring the pain, and I always want to end these fights in bad fashion. He's been here a couple of times. No one ever hurt him yet, so I want to be the first to hurt him. Prediction is pain, pure pain.
Thank you, Dillian. Thanks everyone for coming out today, and especially the guys on the card and also up here. Have a huge night of boxing.
One second.
Sorry, Derek.
I think Eddie and this guy, you guys should have a bet, 100-gram bet. You should shake on it right now. Come on. Yeah.
I don't have 100.
All right, 50 G's.
Higgins,
go on.
You know what you're taking 30% of the
Yeah, have a bet. Come on, have a bet.
You're taking 30% of his money, you do it for 100 grand.
Where's the fake?
You're 30%
Where's the fake? I was asking.
Can someone tell me what he's saying? I don't understand the word he's
You do it
saying.
for 100 grand.
Translator, what's he saying?
You guys funny, Ben. Make it more interesting. Am I lying?
Yeah, he's taking 20% of his money.
Bet. Come on, have a wedge.
I want to know who you'd be backing in this fight.
I'm a born again, I don't gamble, so.
Yeah. Hey David, is it true that you're taking 35% of Parker's money? Just asking.
These details are confidential.
Let's have
No,
a
that's
bet,
not saying
man.
yes or no.
Forget all that. Let's have a wedge on it quickly. Shake on it. Eddie, don't go red now. You give me all the big talk. Come on.
I'm always ready, don't worry.
Have a bet. Come on. 20 G's. 20 grand. Come on. Gotta shake on it then. Yeah? Do you want to shake on it? Yeah. Do I get commission on that as well?
No, just to let you know, I'm going to lay it off again for you to beat Takam, so don't let me down. Right, guys, thanks for coming. We're going to have head-to-heads up here, and we look forward to a massive night. It's sold out the O2. Don't miss it live on Sky Sports Box Office.
Yeah, I ain't fucked off yet. Hang
Hey boys, that's enough. Connor, Cedric, cameras first,
Connor, lift your hat up a bit, just up a bit.
Connor, straight to the front, mate. Yeah, please. Close to the jump, Thanks, guys.
Cheers, thank you. Joshua.
Just right to the front. Face to face,
Thank you boys, thank you. Katie.
Straight to here. And again, girls.
Face to face,
Close in. Close in.
thank you.
Kimberly. Close in. Closer.
Thank you. Nick, Dave, please.
Nick,
Because you said you're
put it the other way round.
to the cameras first.
Guys, can you move over this way, Dave? Move over this way, that's it. That's it.
Dave, just down here.
Face to face, please.
Thanks, guys.
Carlos, Derek, please. To the cameras first,
Derek, stand here.
To the front, guys. To the front. American chest, please, guys.
Face to face, please. Thank you. Thank you.
One fist up, please, guys. That's it.
Joe, just stand to your right.
Straight to the front, guys.
Down the middle, down the middle.
And face each other, please. And then one fist up again this way, please, gentlemen. That's it.
And both down here.
Next to him, next to him.
Dylan, Joe here. Dylan, to your right.
Dillian, down the middle.
And both here.
To me again, please, guys. Joseph, close to me again, please. And again, please. That's right, face to face. And face to face again, please, gentlemen.
I'll let that.